this makeup look online that I wanted to try to recreate. I've been kind of, not necessarily in a makeup rut, but I haven't been wearing as much makeup since, of course, everything that's going on with the current state of the world is what I will say. But I wanted to do, I haven't done a fall inspired look yet. And I've been wearing blue hair. So I feel like I don't want anything clashing, but I found this really beautiful makeup look on Pinterest. It looks like that. I'm gonna try to recreate it. So some of you may or may not know, but I absolutely love makeup. Now, I have struggled with putting makeup on this channel and on my page because I feel like people might get the wrong idea. But for me, makeup is another form of creative expression for me. You absolutely do not have to wear makeup. You don't need makeup. I don't feel like I need it. I'm perfectly fine, barefaced, and I feel super confident with makeup on. But it's another way for me to create and have another creative outlet. Some people paint. I like makeup, and I'm painting my own face. And so I just wanted to put that out there as a disclaimer, but I think this makeup look would be really fun to do. We're in the fall time, and this is the perfect time for it. All right, so let's get started on this look. All right, so we're starting out with Hard Candy Hydrating Makeup Grip Primer. It's a really great primer. It does hydrate and it really does grip makeup. The bottle says it holds makeup up to 12 hours. I've tested the theory. It holds up really well. I always like to go in with a pore filling primer. This is E.L.F. Poreless Putty Primer. Really great primer. I will say that when you first get it, you might want to remove the top layer so you can get down into the nitty gritty of the product, press it into the skin, and you will get a nice smooth base. Next up, I'm using two different foundations. I'm using the Maybelline Dewy and Smooth and L'Oreal Freshwear. Because of mask wearing, I am going to layer throughout this look the Tarte Stay Put Setting Spray. This just helps everything be absolutely transfer proof. So I'm using a stippling and a buffing motion as I apply these two foundations that I've mixed together. And by doing the stippling and buffing, you get a really airbrushed finish. So I go all over the face, including my eyelids, just so I have the same color base and to work with. Next up, I'm going to prep my lips, and I love the Wet n Wild lip mask. This is in lavender. Wonderful. So good. Okay, and then I use two different concealers. I'm using the L'Oreal Infallible here. And this is a lighter shade because I want to highlight my face. So this is starting to bring dimension back into the face. So I'll use a Luxie concealer brush. Watch your eyeballs there. And I'm just kind of smoothing out the product and moving it around the face where I want it to go. Now with a fluffier E.L.F. Flawless Concealer brush, I am just kind of buffing that out. All right, little dance break. All right, so now I'm gonna go in with the Dose of Colors Meet Your Hue Concealer. I absolutely adore this concealer. I'm going to use a Luxie contour brush. Works really great for cream products. Spray that with a little bit of setting spray and begin to buff that the rest of the way out. I mix the two just to get a really natural but yet bright finish. I'm gonna set the face again to make everything transfer proof. We wanna layer the setting spray. Next up is the BH Cosmetics Studio Pro Contour Palette. I'm mixing some powders there. And I'm just going to set everywhere that I put the concealer. It's a little bit lighter of a powder than I will use on the rest of my face. And that's just to keep that dimension that we are building. Then I'll set my face with the Tarte Double Duty Beauty Shape Tape Loose Powder. Just dunking my brush into the container, and then I'm going to press the powder into the skin. When you're setting cream products, you always want to make sure that you use a pressing motion first, just to set everything down, and then you can use a buffing motion to blend. Now we're gonna add some more dimension to the face with the Park Avenue Princess Chisel palette. This is by Tarte. I love this. Also with this bronzer brush, it like blends itself. It's so easy. And so I'm going in, putting shadow around the perimeter of the face. And now I'm gonna do just a really light nose contour. I'm just using 2 colors in the Chisel palette, down the sides of my nose and at the tip. And then I'm gonna blend that out so there are no harsh lines. Now it's time for blush. I'm using Note Cosmetics Luminous Silk Blusher in the color Desert Rose. I love this blush. And I'm just putting that on with a blush brush. We're gonna set the face again, making sure just to layer that setting spray. And I promise you, your makeup will last not only all day, but it will not transfer. Now let's add some highlight. We're gonna use the Pretty Vulgar Shimmering Swan highlighter, and this is in the color something Sass. I think it's Shimmering Sass, something like that. I love this highlighter. It looks really good. And again, we're gonna put that on the high points of the face, the areas that we want everything to come forward, and then we're gonna be sure to blend all of the powder products and set again. All right, now comes the fun part, brows. They frame the face. So I'm trying a new product, Trestique Define Sculpt Brow Gel. I don't typically like brow pencils that are this shape, but I wanted to give this a try just because it was an all-in-one product. But as you can see, it's not very pigmented and it's giving me a little bit of trouble. I'm having to really press and tug on the skin. Yeah, I just don't like this at all. I'm gonna give it a fair shot. I'm trying it on the other side, but as you can see, as many times as I'm going over, it's not building the product or building the brow as I would like it to. Just giving me a lot of problems here. It's just a really stiff pencil. But I gave it a fair shot, you know? You always gotta try new products, see what you like. So I'm going back to Old Trusty Benefit Ka-Brow, and this is in the color 3.5. I do have a sample size in this, but I love the little brush, and this is a foolproof product. It just works really well. You'll notice here, I like more of a structured brow. And so I'm just building up this shape. And now I'm gonna set my eyebrows with just a brown eyeshadow. Any eyeshadow you have will do. And I'm making sure to use an angled brush just to make sure that I can get the shape that I want. This just helps build the shape and set everything down nicely. Remember, your brows should be sisters, not twins. These kind of look like cousins. And then I'm gonna try out that brow gel from the Trestique brow pencil. Trying to find something likable about it, but yeah, this just really isn't my jam. I'm gonna go back to Old Trusty, which is E.L.F. Beautifully Bare Brow Gel. This was clear when I got it because I've set my brows so many times. It's now become the color of the powder that I use, which actually works out really well. All right, let's get started on eyes. Okay, so I'm using my little color switch and I'm going in with a fluffy blending brush, and we're starting off with the Tati Beauty Textured Neutrals palette, and I'm going into Matte Soothe as my transition shade. So you always want to lay down in a transition shade, something that all of the other colors in your look will eventually blend into. This should be in your upper crease but below the brow. So I'm just using windshield wiper motions to blend that out. Now I'm using another fluffier brush, just a little smaller and more tapered, and I'm going into the matte Story color, which is that orange shade in the Tati Beauty palette. And I am just kind of sticking to the lower part of the crease, but going a little bit over where we put our transition shade and really trying to build up that orange color. Next, we're going in the Pure Cosmetics and Raw Beauty Kristi palette. This is a pressed pigment palette, so it works a little bit different, but I'm using the color and my orange, and I'm trying to build up that orange intensity in the crease. So again, in the lower part of the crease, I'm placing that brush, and as we get lower, less product in the brush, I'm moving up. Now I want to deepen and add some dimension, so I'm going in with the color Rich Wool from the Tati Textured Neutral palette, which is just a dark brown. Taking a pencil brush, I'm gonna increase the outer V of the eye. And so I'm starting in the crease and just dragging down towards the lash line. And I'm using a smaller blending brush to kind of taper that color in. And I'll also go back to the brush that we use for the transition shade and blend that out. So I'm repeating this step on the other eye, and I'm starting with that pencil brush to lay down the color, taking this smaller blending brush and blending that out. Okay, and we're gonna go into the Morphe Happy Hour palette, and I'm gonna use the color Flirt, and I'm gonna put that all over the lid with my finger. With using metallic shades, you can either wet them with a setting spray or use your finger. That'll give you the really nice, bold foil effect that those colors intend to have. I'm going back and just making sure that I blend out my outer V color as well as the lid color. I'm going in with just a lid brush and just dispersing that color. Again, I'm just kind of refining the eye look and bringing all the colors in. Now I'm going to go into Trophy Wife for our inner eye highlight color. You just saw me spray the brush with the setting spray, and that's just to give this a really metallic shimmering finish. Just brings all kinds of metallics to life when you use this technique. So I'm using a more detailed brush, and I'm just laying that color into the inner portion of the eye and also down on the inner part of my lower waterline as well. I have a little bit of protruding eyelids, and so I use that eyelid that's coming forward to my advantage. All right, so now I'm gonna clean off the lid brush that we used, and I'm just going to smooth out the inner corner highlight and bring that little swoop-de-whoop. Now I'm putting on some black eyeliner. This one is my favorite. It's the Retractable by NYX. And just lay that into the waterline. A little trick for when you do your liner, if you flick it up on the ends, you'll have a really good base. Now I'm going into the ColourPop and Kathleen Light's collaboration, the So Jaded palette, and I'm using the color Emerald, and I'm smudging that right on top of that eyeliner. This gives the shadow something to stick to, and it will stay put all day. And a visit from our resident teenager, my daughter Taylin. Isn't she cute? So cute, photobombing me. Now I'm gonna take a really detailed brush. This is a natural fiber brush as well. And I'm just swooping that color in because from the inspo picture, the gold kind of went all the way throughout the lid. Now it's time for lashes. I'm using Lilly Lashes in the style Gia, and my new favorite glue, which is actually a liner. It's by Kiss. It's a liner and glue all in one, and let me tell you, this changed the game for putting on false lashes. This makes it so incredibly easy. It's 2 steps in one, and you don't have to wait for dry time either. You can just go ahead and line the eye. Oops, I made a mistake. Look at that. So let me show you how to fix it. Take a flat brush, go back into your lid color, and just pop that right over where that liner got messed up. And then wiggle your lashes to shape them. I'm using the Ardell Lash Applicator. I love this tool. And you just go ahead and pop on those lashes. And then you'll want to adjust them, of course. Just making sure that your edges are smoothed down. Taking that in part of the applicator and just securing the lash all the way across the lash line. We're going to do the same thing on the other eye. So I'm just going to go ahead and line. If you notice, I am doing short strokes and connecting the lines together and then just kind of flipping it back. Wiggle your lashes again. Using the applicator, pop them on and secure the outer and inner corner. Now I'm gonna blend my lashes with the fake ones, and I'm using the Bambi Lash Mascara by L'Oreal, and I'm just putting it on and then pressing my lash into the fake lash. And then I'm flipping them up just to give them a nicer appearance. And then I'm going to apply the same mascara onto the waterline. It's important to use waterproof because it holds the curl and the shape. So once it blends in, once your natural lashes blend in with the fake lashes, they're not gonna move all day as long as you're using waterproof. All right, now it's time for lips. Sorry, I'm a little out of frame here, but I am using just a regular brown eyeliner. I'm sorry, lip liner. Any liner will do. You just want to line the lips. Now I'm going in with the Ace Beauty Beaute Lip Liner. This is actually in the color Be Peachy. I know it said Toffee, but it's Be Peachy. And then I'm going in with the Sol de Janeiro tinted lip balm in the color Soulmate. This stuff is amazing. It has the right amount of color and just such a great formula. All right, now we're going to do a final set on the face just to lock everything in. And there you have it. This is the final look of our fall inspired makeup look. I think we really hit the mark here. I think we were able to achieve it. It looks really great. And here's me all done up with my wig on, my blue hair, and my beautiful baby girl. If you like this video, give a thumbs up no matter where you're watching from. We'll see you in the next one.